I think we have a lot of material to go through, to digest, and possibly to discuss in next meeting. So I'm sure we all have this appetite to continue discussing. And just to finish, I think I will give the floor to my colleagues here, Keith and Laurie. I will also say a few words, and then I will give the floor to Dr. Hidalgo Simon to close the meeting from the EMA. And I think, we need to close, to finish at 5:30. But first, please, Dr. Pugh. Thanks.
So thank you, Sal. To thank everybody really who's contributed to the day. I think it's been a very useful interaction. I think honest views have been sort of expressed on both sides, and I've found the whole meeting very, very helpful. Clearly, we've got things to reflect on, things which obviously don't seem to sort of fit into the current regulatory and legislative system. So I think we need to reflect on those and the best way forward, and obviously important communication between industry and regulators is very important. So from my point of view, it's been very, very helpful, and thanks again to everybody who's actively contributed throughout the day. So thank you very much.
Sure. So first of all, I think it's clear that I think everybody in this room sort of has a shared goal of products that fall into these buckets of prime or breakthrough, that we want to get these products to the patients as quickly as possible, but at the same time assuring product quality. And so I think from an FDA perspective, I want to highlight that we have certain standards for being a marketed product in the U.S., and our standards really aren't changing because you're breakthrough. What we're showing is flexibility in how you meet those standards. And so I want to reiterate what we've said here today, is that one of the benefits of the breakthrough program is this communication between the applicant and the FDA. And so we really encourage you to take advantage as much as possible of these communications. And we've talked today a lot about the challenges that we're facing, and sort of how regulatory health authorities differ in how they approach certain challenges. In certain discussions, it seems like we were moving towards a common understanding. So in talking about ATMPs and sort of the use of normal versus patient material, we seem to be moving towards a common understanding of when to use normal and patient material and comparability and validation exercises. But it also seemed that we had very short sort of panel discussions, and some of the discussions got cut off a little short, so the topics didn't get to mature as much as they could have. And so, for example, in one of the last discussions on stability data in the bio session, we really didn't get to talk about some of the challenges in using accelerated data and trying to extrapolate just using accelerated data. So there is definitely, I think, the need for some additional discussions, and it seems clear that we need perhaps some additional guidance in certain topics. So it seems like even in the small molecule and the bio session, there was a lot of talk about stability data and the need to go beyond ICH and to demonstrate more flexibility and sort of predictive approaches. And I'll just say from a CDER perspective, we're very much interested in getting feedback from industry on our guidance documents and where you think we have gaps and what we need. And one of the call to action when OPQ was formed from Dr. Woodcock is, I don't want you just to put out pharmaceutical quality guidances and not evaluate them. I want you to get feedback from industry on how we're doing. And so this type of forum really works to achieve that. It really helps us understand what's working and what's not working. And while we're going to continue to explore other avenues, I really sort of want to enhance or to stress how important sort of forums like this are for us to get feedback from you on what you think is working and not working. Thank you.
Oops. Thanks very much. Also from my side, I think it's been a very interesting day. I think we have described many challenges that we have in front of us, but I think very interesting times. We will see products that will change some therapeutic areas in a way that we haven't seen before. So I think we're going to have fun for a long time. So I think also it's been been repeated. There's many words and many concepts throughout the meeting, but I think there's one that at least in my point of view, I've heard a lot, and is dialogue, communication and dialogue. So I think we need, yes, certainly dialogue, early dialogue, traditional dialogue, concurrent dialogue, continued dialogue, continuous and tailored dialogue. So all kinds of it. So, so I think this is something that obviously we will pursue. I mean, in different meetings and different opportunities. I mean, global and also for specific products. So before giving the word to Dr. Hidalgo Simon, I would like to thank everyone very much. I mean, EMA colleagues, FDA colleagues, industry colleagues who have shared with us case studies and have put a lot of effort, and particularly to the organizing committee who came up with an excellent agenda and work program. And I think it's been actually very, very helpful in order to have the discussions and all these topics through the day. So again, thanks very much. Have all a safe trip back home, but I will give the floor to Dr. Hidalgo Simon from the EMA. Thanks, Anna.
Thank you. It's my honor to give the final words and to say, again, thank you from the EMA. It has been a good experience, and I just want to reassure you that we heard this suggestion that this kind of forum is helpful and you would like to have some more. We also heard very clearly this idea of having the global involvement, not just with the FDA, but perhaps even thinking of Japan and other colleagues. That's something that didn't have time to evolve for this particular meeting, but is another lesson from today. I don't need to repeat the thanks, but I will actually put it back to the effort made of people coming with one voice. That was very clear from industry, and we know it's not easy to get together and to come back with a unite message, and it has also been an effort, and a lot of the time involved in the preparation of this meeting has been to put everything together. It's far more effective to have a discussion when you're having few common problems to put on the table. So it has been a meeting on many sides. So we have the industry and regulators, but we have the big pharma and the SMEs, the small molecules and the biologicals, of course, the global perspective, EMA, FDA, and then we have gone across disciplines, including the inspectors. So the aim of having a discussion across the plate, I think it has been very well served. So I would just like to reiterate that we are taking this as a starting point to this continuous the collaboration between the FDA and the EMA, but beyond that, this idea that we will solve the problems if we make this continuous effort of talking all together. So the only thing to say is we will be moving, so don't expect another one of these within 6 months. After that, we will all be looking forward to welcome you in Amsterdam when we are settled and when we have the machine fully working again. In the meantime, be very reassured that products are our priority. That's not going to change, so anything is going to, we are not going to drop the balls. So perhaps the harmonization and the discussions are going to have to find a way around. The product support is not. That is and will stay front of mind at all times. So again, thank you very much and see you soon.